Hi Pisces, how are you? How are things? I'm Eriu and welcome to Eriu Tarot Readings. And as always, my beautiful Pisces, my beautiful little fishies, you're so welcome here today. First of all, thank you so much for my old subscribers that have been with me from like the get-go. Thank you so much for your patience. I know I've been so MIA the last few months. I needed to get a lot of stuff sorted. And I did, and I'm feeling much better. And also, to my new subscribers, you're very welcome here to this community. This is your tucha, this is your tribe. And it's no coincidence that you fell upon this video. You were meant to be here. You and I, my darling, are meant to have a chat today about your January 2018 reading, which is what we're going to do. Now remember, this doesn't always resonate because it's such a general reading. It just can't, and that's cool too. Take from it what you will. If you want to check out your rising and moon sign as well, I'd advise you to do that. I do that as well, and sometimes the energies fluctuate between all those things, so really important to have a look. Or also, if you feel like you need a bit more guidance and you actually want to contact me directly, you can. My details are below and I'll talk a bit about them at the very end of this reading, okay? So my darlings, for January, this is what we're going to do. Slightly different format, as I always seem to do anyway. We're going to look into your career, your finances, and your family and friends. Then we're going to look into love for singles and then love for couples, yeah? So we're going to talk a bit about everything, I think. I'm so happy to be doing this. Hello. Who's this? All right. Two of Pentacles. We'll see. Put him back in. See what he's doing. Really sorry if you can hear that furniture shuffle below. Well, the audio isn't actually that great when I stand on this side of the camera. Well, I'll rectify that, I think, for next month's videos. Yeah, I can hear everyone, can't you? So funny, my dad's a Pisces, but he's like, you'd never hear him on the video. You'll always hear my mum because he's a Leo. You'll never hear my dad, Pisces. Real quiet, real chill, you know. Okay, let's have a look for you, my darlings. I hope you had a cracker of a Christmas and a New Year as well. And you know, I honestly think 2018 is going to be a really good year for people. Let's uplift each other. Let's take care of each other and let's not tear each other down. Let's not do that. Let's not. Well, Pisces doesn't anyway. Pisces is quite grand that way. All right, my darlings. Have a look for you. I'll actually do it separately. So we'll do career first. Yeah, grand. And I have these beautiful angel tarot cards as well to clarify for us. Let's talk about career for Pisces. Pisces, if I recall last year, you did pretty good in the career, didn't you? Like, I don't think anything was majorly life-changing for you, but it had good momentum. I think that's what it was. Slowly but surely, you were doing well. And let's see if you continue that into January. Also to say, if you're my new subscriber, new viewer, I do swear the odd time. I'm a very passionate person. It comes out in that way, and I often think that there's way more other stuff we should be sensitive about than a few words, right? But I use it sparingly, so if I use it, I'm pretty passionate in the moment, and I really mean what I say. Okay, let's go. Let's have a look for you. Career, please, for Pisces. Alright Pisces, we've got your overall energy here and we've got two clarifying cards to see what's going on with you. So let's have a look. Okay, Seven of Pentacles. Right, so the overall energy for your career. Also, may I just interject and say that if you're studying as well and you're in college or whatever, or if you're a bit of both, this covers that as well, okay? Career, furthering yourself, I guess, is educationally as well. I guess that's something that we should throw in there in this mix. So you have the Seven of Pentacles. Pentacles is great energy to have in career. Always wonderful. Why? It's Virgo, Taurus and Capricorn. It's an earth element. It's grounding. It's practical. It's methodical. It's systematic. Let's take the steps to achieve something on the earthly plane. Let's not be all in our heads about it and be kind of fantasy about it. No, let's actually put in the work, invest in ourselves and in what we're doing in order to achieve. It's a fantastic energy to have. If you have any Virgo, Taurus or Capricorn friends, which Pisces does, I know you do, they're fantastic people to get on board with this sort of thing and very inspiring in order to kind of bring your dreams down to earth and make them a reality. So Seven of Pentacles is about, you've already kind of gathered a lot of experience, I want to say, and I said like last year there was a nice momentum to what you were doing, Pisces, so you've kind of gathered that. You're kind of looking back, actually physically gathering it as well. You're like sweeping it all up, raking it all up And there's something there. You feel like maybe you've finally built up your CV a bit more, you've built up your experience a little bit more, and you're saying, Grant, I've done good. What do I do now? So some of you may be holding on to something. You have a particular dream in mind. You have an objective. It's very singular and you're very focused on it and actually quite driven, which sometimes Pisces aren't known for having. But hey, we're all different and different things motivate us. So if you have that sort of drive towards what you want, that's a beautiful thing. Now you're holding on to that, and I can feel you holding on to it. It's right here. You're holding on to that pentacle and you're saying, I've done all this, I get it, but I really want to do more in this particular area, in this particular field, within this particular department, with this particular group of people. This is what I want. And I feel it. It's so singular to me, but I love the fact that you're so focused on it, because you're like, end game, there it is, I want it, let's go. But you're kind of looking back and seeing like, well, you know, I do have all this and it did give me some experience, but I mean, should I have gone a different direction? There's a bit of question there at the same time. Look, for January Pisces, you're good. It's a 7. You're past the halfway mark already. So if there's a little bit more you got to do, keep grounded, keep structured, write out the steps that you need to take in order to achieve that objective. Go for it. If you feel, yeah, because it's a 7, sorry, I was going somewhere else with my intuition, I'll bring it back. Yes, it's a 7. Now, you're not quite complete. No, it was a 7, it's not 10, you're not quite at the finishing line yet, but there's nothing to say that you can't achieve that. That's me going off that. Let's look at your 2 clarifying cards. Oh, wonderful. Right, so Queen of Air and 3 of Air. So as I said, kind of bringing those like airy thoughts and ideas and bring them back down to earth. What's going to help you in order to achieve yourself, elevating yourself to a 10 of Pentacles instead of a 7, or even just helping you in the 7 of Pentacles energy where you're not quite sure maybe how to go forward with the next thing, even though you're focused and you know you want it. Where do we go now? Queen of Air energy comes in. She is independent, experienced, realistic and witty, objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, seeing the humour in a situation. The humour thing, humour is always great to have, so we won't even question that. But objective decision making, this is a lovely thing to have, because as I said, I feel like you are very singular in your approach. You see the end game, but maybe for some of you it's not quite sure how to get there. Maybe some of the steps aren't actually in place for you, not quite sure what to do about it. Implement this Queen of Air energy. You have that experience and you are realistic about it, which I love that you're in that vibe this month, Pisces. And also clear away all that no longer serves you. Literally clear it away. So you've done all this. This is great. You've got that behind you. Let's stop looking back and let's move forward and keep yourself forward. Make decisions. I think that's the thing as well, is that once you've gotten past the 5, you're into the 7, you know you're progressing, you know you're doing well. But there also comes a point where you're like, you just question yourself slightly. What I say to you is, Pisces, have a bit more faith in yourself, yeah? Have a bit more faith. You've come this far. Who's to say that you won't do it? I know you will. I think it's just well, just have a little bit more faith in the decisions that you're making as well. Get rid of the stuff that you're questioning, those little questions in your head going, well, what do I do? And am I good enough? Or will this ever? It will. It will pass as well. And as I always say, which is a great phrase that my mom gave me, is what's for you will not pass you. And let it come to you as well. Look, I think as Pisces, you're so... What's the word I'm looking for? I'm kind of thinking of my dad here as well as I'm saying this and all the Pisces in my life. But when you want something, my God, you are as stubborn, but like you're quietly stubborn. And it's like, no, nothing could move you. God himself or Satan himself, whichever one you want to pick, or whoever you believe in, doesn't matter to me. I'm not against any institutionalized religion. But if you were to pick something like that, say, were to come down to the earth now and try and shake you up and try and change your mind on something that you want for yourself, it's not going to happen. It doesn't matter. It'd burn the house down. Pisces is like, nope, not moving. But I think there's something very actually productive in that stubbornness as well, because that will aid you. When you combine that with the Queen of Air, it will aid you in your decision making. And because she brings clarity as well. She's air. She breathes a fresh breath of life into things. And she also blows away all the dust, all that mental dust that we're not quite sure of and that gathers on things. She goes, oh, she's the one that in a stuffy room, she opens the window because she needs a bit of air. Because she's the Queen of Air. That's what she does. And so it's like, oh, you feel better in yourself. Wonderful. Now your other card of clarification now, you've got Three of Air. So Three of Air is a little bit more problematic. In this particular deck, this says, great sadness, take time to heal, the need to forgive yourself or others. Right, what am I going to apply to this with your Seven of Pentacles? Don't be so hard on yourself, Pisces. If things aren't moving as fast as you would like, and I know you kept your patience last year, like throughout the summer and autumn and everything last year, you kept your patience about where you were going. You're going to have to be a little bit more patient in this. And don't be too, I guess it says great sadness, take time to heal. Three of Air isn't really a healing card. That's actually more the Four of Air. The need to forgive yourself or others. Go easy on yourself. Go easy. Flow into it. You're a beautiful water sign. You just let that energy wash over you. You just float right on. Pisces is a beautiful sign because it's like you just kind of sit on the top of the water and you just allow it to take you. It's the same with your career. If you feel like you're getting stuck at any point, allow it to take you forward. You're coming there, you're getting there, it will just take a bit of time. Traditionally, Three of Air is a little bit of heartache in the traditional tarot deck. It's the heart with the three swords in it. So I think it's more of a case for me to remind you that all of what you love is coming. It just needs a little bit more time. So patience in all of this. Making good, clear decisions for yourself. And when you do, giving them the time to breathe, allow them to happen, and you take on the next step. All good though, Pisces. Do not be put off by any of this. All good in the hood. That's what I see. That is what I see. Okay. Now, let's have a look at your finances. Do we want to? Do I want to? There's two. I'm going to say no. Sorry, darling. If you come back, great. If you don't, great. It's fine. 1, 2, and 3. That's us. Beautiful. Right. Let's have a look. All right. Finances for Pisces. Now, and to clarify, beautiful angel tarot cards. If you hear a little bit of a ding, I know I picked it up on the Cancer reading that I did. It's just my earrings. I can hear them. I didn't think the camera would pick up on them, but apparently it did. So they sound like little wind chimes. So if you hear a bit of a, that's me. That's my ears. And one more, is it? Okay, thank you. Awesome. To clarify for Pisces finances for January. Let's have a look, darlings. Let's go. Nice, right, okay. So, major arcana, your first one so far, it's strength. Sometimes this governs Leo or Sagittarius. Really kind of depends on the reader. For me, it's kind of Leo, to be honest. Beautiful, as I said, major arcana, universal energy, quite strong. And for this in particular thing, I think it's on your side. There may have been times where you felt like your finances, apologies, were slightly out of whack of the last few months, and now they're finally starting to balance themselves out, but more importantly, they're actually growing in strength. This is very good. Whatever you're doing, Pisces, in regards to either saving money, or you're acknowledging how you're spending it, or just making priorities out of your finances, you're doing very well. Keep doing it. It's not just a case of it's in one hand and out the other anymore. If you do have any additional expenditure, save it, put it away. But I don't need to tell you that. Actually, who am I kidding? This is Pisces. You know what you're doing with money. You're very financially frugal. At times you may feel like you're not, but I can honestly say, and I believe that you are. And it's a result of making better choices as well. And maybe for some of you, it's really kind of scaling back and going, do you know what? I just can't afford to do some of these things. So I'm not going to. I think this might go hand in hand with your career a little bit more. This feels a lot stronger now than your career, but it's building, and it's building slowly. So if some of you as well have a nice side business that you do, if you're quite artistic, if it is in an artistic field, or any field, it doesn't matter, and you're making a bit of money, what I would say about that is put that away, save it. You might need it, you don't know. If you need to spend it on other things that you deem important, go for it. But I know that you'll compartmentalize and you'll make it work for you. Great. To clarification, Awesome. So we're back into Earth energy here. So we've the Knight of Earth and the Seven of Earth. This is Pentacle energy in the Angel Tarot deck. So Knight of Earth is loyal, dedicated, honourable and kind. Time to buckle down and get things done. Honour your commitments, a guardian angel. So that's quite nice. So as I said, the things that you've been doing in order to kind of gain this financial, I'm going to say abundance because that makes it sound like it's a huge chunk. But I guess for that, now that your finances are kind of no longer slightly fluctuating, this is saying that the work that you've been doing, this message to you is the work that you've been doing, the grounding yourself and being very practical with your money has served you well. You've elevated yourself to a knight, and it's also you're kind of like telling people, it's like, no, actually look, if you want to save money, this is how you do it. If you want to make a bit of money here, this is how you do it. No, you don't use that bank, try this bank, because you've actually done all this stuff. You've done the groundwork anyway. For some of you that are struggling to get to the strength card, you're just not quite there yet, and the balancing of the books isn't quite there yet. This is saying like, look, buckle down, get it done, really see where you can save money, really see where your expenditure is going and how you can take control of it. Now it's the Pentacles, so I'm actually quite happy that you're grounding yourself anyway. You feel, do you know what actually, Pisces, in general so far, you just feel very grounded to me this month. And Seven of Earth, what did we have over here? Here's the card gone, there it is. With Seven of Pentacles, it's the same card. So this, as I said, that this felt a bit stronger than your career and finances may really coincide. So Seven of Earth, seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. What did I say to you? I said don't worry if it's a bit slower. Well, I'm paraphrasing here because I don't remember what I said fully, word for word. That's what happens when you kind of get into the flow of things. And unnecessary worry, it's like, go easy on yourself. That I did say, go easy on yourself. You're getting there, you're grand. It's happening. Just take your time. And it's working out well for you. And maybe some of you just feel a little bit more comfortable with your finances now and you can take a bit of a breather. That is so spot on self-explanatory for me. Like, I don't feel like I need to... Wait, actually I do. Okay, for some of you that are considering investing, or putting your money in several different institutions for whatever manner you feel, be it bank, be it investments, whatever. Look at the things that are available to you. Don't just go for the one thing that everybody talks about. Explore, 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 explore. You have many different options here in this particular card, Pisces. So I want you to explore them all and be very kind of vigilant before you decide this is the one I'm going to go for. But seek advice. So go outside yourself and seek that advice. But I think you're doing good anyway. Listen. This is flying. Let's now look at your friends and family. How are you getting on with friends and family for the month of January? I just heard not so good. I heard that in my head there. Not so good. All right, we'll have a look, shall we? Bum, 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 bum. There we go, lovely. You know, this reading's actually kind of flying for me. I know we're probably 8 minutes in now, or 12 minutes, but it's by far the quickest, no nonsense reading I've had. So. Cancer was very long. Alright, 2, awesome. This is us. Thanks very much. Should move these cards over here. Alright, let's have a look for your friends and family this month of January 2018 for Pisces. Interesting, right, so 3 of Swords. So you're kind of, everything seems to be threading into itself this month because you had the 7 of Pentacles and then you got the 7 of Earth and then you had the 3 of Air and then you got the 3 of Swords, which is a similar thing. They're both the same thing, just different wording in each deck. So things, you might feel like things are actually threading into each other and that's making you feel slightly off this month, Pisces. But I think the main thing for you is your career. I think that's where your focus needs to be. But we'll have a look. 3 of Swords here is air energy. It is Libra, Aquarius and Gemini. It doesn't always have to be a person of that particular astrological sign. But these are the guys that govern it. So we've got the 3 of Swords here. This is about heartache. not heartbreak, heartache. The heart, as you can see, is not broken. It is just merely punctured by these 3 swords. Now, is that to say that it's any less uncomfortable? Absolutely not. It's very uncomfortable. But a lot of the time I find with the 3 of Swords, it's not always a current energy. What I find the 3 of Swords for me is about residual energy from other things. So from the past conversations, dialogues that have been had with family or friends that are still affecting you in some way. For me, these are like memories, and it's like, let's pull out each of those swords in order to alleviate that. Will you always have that memory of a particular event or word or something, person that said or did something to you? Yeah, you will. But when you really breathe into it and give it energy and constantly kind of re-loop it like a video in your mind, you're breathing air into it, you're giving it too much energy, and it's like, no, don't do that. It's because it is still negative, right? So some of you may be having trouble in the family of late. Some of you may be having trouble with friends. It could have been in a group of people where it could be 3 people within that group and then 4 including yourself, and you are the heart and these 3 people are the swords. Or it could be just in general, your family dynamic is not working very well with you. It could be as well because people don't, I personally think that people don't always understand where Pisces is coming from. And it's like, you know, I personally feel that the water signs need just a little bit more love and nurture, because you're so sensitive about some things, and that, you know, just to give you time as well. And then people can be so cutthroat towards you and they don't realize how much they puncture you. But let's have a look at what's going on. Okay, right. Alright, darlings, so it could be 2 people. I did say 3, but since we've got 2 clarifying cards here, we'll go with 2. So you've got a Knight of Air and you've got the King of Fire. Air signs we talked about, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Fire signs, you got Leo, Sagittarius and Aries. 2 completely different suits. Now, what's interesting is here, these 2 particular elements, although different, are extremely complementary to each other. The same as water and earth are extremely complementary to each other. So sometimes, as a Piscean, you may not really feel like you fully get where an air sign comes from. The same with the King of Fire, or fire in general. As a water sign, you may not always get where the fire signs come from. Sometimes for fire and water, complete opposite, yeah? And then water and air, it just doesn't feel like the friendship or the family dynamic goes very deep. Now, so we're looking at knights and we're looking at kings. Doesn't necessarily mean that these are both male. Not at all. Remember, as people, we embody both masculine and female energies, and sometimes they fluctuate within us. So there could be 2 people in your family at the moment who are lockerheads, and maybe this is upsetting you quite a bit. It could be a younger person, and it could be a parent or someone of, I want to say, like a higher family position. You know, mother, father, grandfather, grandmother. Knights could be sons or daughters, or could be even cousins as well. You know, something that's along that level, and then you got the father and the mother, you know, that sort of dynamic. So for some of you, there could be, within your family, this sort of problem that 2 people actually aren't seeing eye to eye, even though normally they'd get along great, but at the moment they're not. I feel like whoever this fire sign is, or somebody who embodies this fire element, who's very, very passionate, could just have been, their nose is slightly out of joint about something that's happened here with this particular air sign, or this particular person who embodies the air sign. So this particular one is intelligent, decisive, idealistic and tireless. That's interesting to say about an air sign. I don't know if they're tireless. No. And then this fire sign, or somebody who embodies these, is motivational, idealistic, ambitious and charismatic. Right, so that's wonderful. But something's going on here. Something may have happened with this person. Something may have been said, as air signs can just cut people by accident a lot of the time, right? Sometimes the filter isn't immediate. Excuse me. I'm an air sign. Excuse me. Sometimes I say things off the cuff, and you know, there's no ill intent, but it's like you could have picked a better thing to say, you know? So there could be friction within the family dynamic, and this is actually affecting you greatly because you do like and enjoy a solid family structure, even though you may float in and out of that quite from time to time. That's okay with you as long as it's there. So this is kind of happening. This also could be friends as well. So sorry guys, I had to go get a lozenge because my throat is just completely dried up. So if you hear me chewing, I'm really sorry. I know it sounds kind of gross, like somebody's chewing gum down the phone. I really need it though. So continue on from what I was saying, which was this could be that this air sign or whoever, let's not actually go with that, this night may have caused some friction with this king within the family, and that's actually really upsetting you. These two people also could be putting you in the middle. One person says one thing to you, the other person says the other thing to you, and you're like, I don't want to be here, this is not my place, I love you both, this sucks, just get it like sorted out. But I know it's probably hard for you in order to do that, because you have loyalty to both of them and you love both of them. It's just putting you in like a sticky situation. If for some of you this is a friend thing within the group that you were in, and I said group here as well, there may be two people that are at odds with each other, and it's actually causing a lot of friction within the group as well. Because remember, other people can be our families as well. It doesn't have to be bloodline, doesn't have to be biological whatsoever. And I think most of our best friends, you'd say that it was almost, you know, they are your family to some degree. That might be happening for a very small portion of you as well. I feel like you, within this friend group, may be being attacked or feel like you're being attacked by these two, alright? There might be one or two other people in the background in the group, yeah? But there's two people in particular that you feel are talking about you and about what you're not or what you are doing. I think it's actually the case of what they don't know what you're doing. You're not telling them what you've been doing. So you've either, Pisces, you've been keeping yourself to yourself because you feel this weird vibe and energy between these two. You feel like chit chat, yeah, between the two of them. And you're like, I'm distancing myself from that. That's not good for me. I'm not doing that. But that's making them talk a little bit more about you because they're wondering what you're doing. It's a classic scenario. But it's like you don't feel like that's a comfortable environment for you to be in with these two people. Do you know what? Really quickly, let me have a look. Let me just one card kind of piece this together for you, because I don't, if this is going on for you and it's hard for you to take in, I don't want to leave you with just this. Let's see what happens now. Oh, easy. The moon card. I don't really want to. Okay, can we give Pisces a bit more advice on how to deal with this family and friend scenario, please? Well, they feel like two very strong people, not against you. I don't mean they're against you, but their energies are just stronger than yours. Yours is way more smooth, man. Way more smooth. Okay, Ace of Pentacles, right. So this could be a new opportunity for you in a really big way, Pisces, a new beginning for you. You may be able to offer your advice if you would like to, but I think more of the case of this is a learning curve for you. You don't get involved in a lot of things though, but sometimes you have to speak your truth and say your piece. And I think this will teach you in order to do that. They're going to see you. If you kind of take this opportunity as something that you can actually go, no, I don't agree with this, or I do agree with this, or that was wrong. If you have that opportunity to do that, but in a very kind of like matter-of-fact way, I believe that you'll actually have a huge learning lesson from all this. And they will as well. Straight up, they kind of won't fuck with you anymore. If it's the friend group, they ain't going to fuck with you anymore. You confront them, which is something you don't do. It's your opportunity to do it. Because it will come up for you and you'll know that moment of when it is. People, they'll be quiet. People will be quiet. If it's a family thing, maybe it's time for somebody to, this opportunity comes in and like, do you know what? You're both out of line, sort it out. I'm not going to be in the middle of this anymore. And you get an opportunity to, in some ways, I guess, give them the gift of grounding. Be like, do you know what? She's dead right. Or he's dead right. We shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be putting her in the middle. Sort it out between the two of us. It's not a nice energy, but I'm happy that the Ace of Pentacles came in there for you, Pisces. So when your heart starts beating really fast, you're not quite sure how it's all going, that's your moment. Speak it. Absolutely. And you'll say it in a really sweet way anyway, so that people will just be like, okay, that's fair enough. Excuse me. I feel like I'm just... you know, you're doing a reading and I'm just hitting off stuff and just choking and all sorts of silly stuff. My apologies, Pisces. I was never very smooth. I not a very smooth, cool gal, you know what I mean? Slightly awkward. So this now, so we've kind of covered all those bases. Happy enough with them, yeah? Family and friends thing, a little bit of an issue, but now we know what to do, and you should feel a bit more comfortable now the next time you're in that sort of environment with that particular company. So what we're going to do now is a love reading for singles. Pisces, I am so sorry. I don't know what is going on with this reading. Just different things keep happening to me. This is like my 4th time to get this part done. So the first time, I didn't realise. I thought we were recording the second part of this on my camera, and I was chatting away to myself for a good 5 minutes. And then I went to see how much time I had left for this particular segment, and I wasn't even recording. And I'd pressed record. Then I done it again, and then listen, we're not even in Mercury retrograde, so I can't even blame it on that. But hey, you're kind of really having a funky electric reading. And these were here, and I was chatting about them, and I didn't want to take new cards for you just for the sake of reshuffling them on camera. So it's like, look, these came out for you, so we're going to talk about them. Although I already have, but we'll do it again. All right, Pisces. This is Pisces singles for January 2018. I will then reshuffle and do couples 2018, all right? January. So let's look at the single cards. My God, let's get it in action. Right. You deserve love. You are... Now my words are gone. Oh, someone light a candle for me, will you? You are lovable, Pisces. Second card, very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And your third card, unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So interesting kind of sequence of events for singles. Excuse me, let's have a look and let's delve a bit deeper. These are the clarification cards down here, right? So your first card, you deserve love. You are lovable. And this comes up with an exclamation mark. Pisces, did you know you are lovable? Yes, you are. Of course you are. And you deserve love just as much as anyone else does. Now, when I was shuffling prior to that, I was having a little joke about how Pisces have like a love entourage, which I feel like you do. It's like people are very attracted to Pisces, and it's very rare that I kind of see a single Pisces, because like people just want to like snap you up. I just heard some of you laugh there. You were like, ah, okay, when I said that. But no, seriously, even single guys, people even... This is also about, sometimes like you can have that love entourage where you're like, I do seem to attract a lot of people, but you know what? I don't actually fancy any of them. And you know what? I'm not in love with any of them. I can't see myself with any of them. So sometimes when that so happens, you're like, you're either attracting the wrong people or people you're not into, and then the ones that you like aren't into you. And you're like, where is the equal exchange here? Because I'm just not feeling it whatsoever. And it kind of diminishes your self-worth a bit, and I think it kind of diminishes your faith in love as well. Where you're like, come on, help me out. Here you are with your bow and arrow here. You're taking on the slight, looks like slight Sagittarius, Eriu, my lord, Sagittarius energy, where you're like, I'm trying to pick one, and you're looking, and you're actually just holding that bow and arrow because you're like, I don't know, and I don't know if I can do this actually. I can't just decide who the next person's going to be. Guys, my battery went. I'm so sorry. This seems like the most worst put together video. Not my style, but I am too stubborn to change these cards. As I was saying, we're going to go back to this. Singles, January 2018. Third time lucky. So some of you are feeling like you don't deserve love because it's not coming in for you. And I get it. It can really diminish kind of your, as I said, faith and love. So what's going on with that for you? Well, to clarify, interestingly enough, you've got contrasting cards down here to clarify. You've got the Ten of Pentacles and you've got the King of Cups. So let's actually just go straight to the King of Cups. King of Cups is here. He is completely in your element. Beautiful water sign. Could be Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio, or just somebody that embodies that very fluid, nurturing, caring, very sweet, gentle vibe about them. That they're just quite loving and sensitive, but they give themselves in very gentle ways to people and show and give little gestures to show that they care to others. And like if they have a romantic interest, to one particular person. Now, also, you got the Ten of Pentacles here, which is a 10. It's a pentacle, as we talk about, Earth element, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn energy. So it's like all of your dreams can come true. Everything in the material realm coming to fruition and manifesting right before your eyes. This is also about having a very lovely, structured, happy family support system as well. We've got the mother or grandmother back here, we've got the parents, we've got the dog, we've a child. So it's kind of like all the generations, and it's that beautiful moment where finances and career and family and love all kind of seem to come together, and they just go, yes, this is good. I'm at a good place in my life. I think for some of you, this is what you're looking for. You're looking to find your kind of King of Cups. And remember that doesn't matter if you're male or female, king or queen, it does not matter. We embody both of these energies, and we fluctuate between the two of them all the time. And this is, for me, it's saying that you're kind of looking for your happy ending with someone. But it's like when you kind of go for it or think about it, you don't put yourself out there enough. And I'm sure some of you completely disagree, and you'd be like, Eriu, what are you talking about? Put myself out there all the time. And if you are, that's fine, that's good. But for a lot of you, I feel like you're not. I think as well because modern dating doesn't lend itself very well to us in a sense that some of us maybe aren't great at first date impressions, or that we don't like really talking to complete strangers. And some people are so forward, and it's like, man, girl, just cool your jets. I'm not that, you know, take it easy with me. And so she's holding this bow and arrow, but she's not letting go. It's like, I do want it, but I just don't know how to do it. So look, you can take a risk on love, or you can take a risk on someone. I think the main thing to do is how practical you've been in your career of late, or in the last few months where you've been taking it step by step by step. I think it's good for you to try that now as well. So the same investment that you're putting into your career, put it into your love life as well. I always say, think about how much time we spend at work, right? We can't spend all this time in love, but think about all the investment that we put into our jobs and our careers and whatever you do, studying as well, doesn't matter. Imagine how successful our relationships would be if we put that same energy into it. We'd all be flying high. It would be amazing. But I think this for you is saying, like, look, start to take the steps a little bit more. Is it a bit frightening? Yes, it is. Of course it is. But like, it will be worth the risk because it's your heart and you're looking for love, and why not absolutely go for it? If you do have the King of Cups in your life who you have your eye on, and you're kind of fantasizing about it a little bit more, and you're aiming your bow and arrow, and you just feel like, oh, this person is the king or the queen, I don't know how to approach them. Look, take it one day at a time. Take it one step at a time. You don't have to let go of that arrow immediately. It's like, bing, you're mine. And also, they could potentially have the same love language as you do. And so maybe going really fast and like arrow right in the chest is not going to help them either. Approach every day, Pisces, take that step. And what's lovely about that is your second card is very soon then. So like each step builds up, and you start to create a foundation. What you get is very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So this is also about visualizing what you want with someone, but you're kind of already doing that anyway with these two, which I'm happy about. But also to manifest as well. If you want something, this is how you're going to go about it. Now, to clarify, I think this progression for you, however slow it may be, it depends on your pace and how slow or fast you want to take it. But I think your progression anyway is going to happen, and it's good for you. Why? Because you get the Fool and the Ace of Wands. So you get Ace of Wands. What are we talking about here? We're talking about wand energy, which is Leo, Sagittarius and Aries. We're talking about pure love energy. Everything that comes about with the fire signs. Love, lust, passion, compassion. It's all there. Sometimes this can even be in spirituality. Sometimes it can mean creativity. Sometimes it can mean that sexually you're opening yourself up a lot more to different possibilities. Or at least you're thinking about them. But aces are new beginnings, and it is the purest of this particular element. So you got pure love energy within this wand. And as a result of that, I feel like it's like a knock-on effect where you get the Fool card, which is a major arcana, which is like another new beginning. So once you start to slowly open yourself up to the possibilities of I guess putting yourself out there a little bit more, you get the Fool card. Now, for some of you, I get that you already might be out there, but just that you don't feel like things are happening for you. So this may be telling you, look, take a different approach, yeah? You've been pointing that arrow at different people. Maybe they haven't been the best choices for you. Hold it. Hold it. Think about where you might be going wrong. That's wrong. There's no wrong or right. Think about the outcomes of your strategies thus far and if they worked for you. And if they haven't, this is saying take it slower this time. With whoever you have in mind, or just love in general, take it slower and then see the outcome. You may have bypassed things you never saw before. And then you go slower, you get to see it all. And the Fool here, because of that as well, 2 new beginnings. You're like, oh, I get it, a breath of fresh air. It's like the Fool here, you're not scared anymore. You're kind of not scared to jump off the cliff and kind of take a real risk in love, because love is risky, and it's, you know what? It's petrifying sometimes to put yourself out there. It's so scary, but if you do, it starts with law of attraction. You put yourself out there, you're going to attract some things into you. And I think as well that you'll feel okay with your vulnerability, but you're standing on your own this time. Not that you didn't before, but there was a question of whether or not how much you were taking care of yourself in the love department. And if you could really kind of sit down with yourself and say, yeah, I truly love myself. For those of you that can, right on, you're doing great. For those of you that struggle, this was to say, look, just take note a bit more. And when you do, you understand your vulnerability, your kind of red flags, what triggers you, and you become more solid in yourself, and you can stand alone, and you're like, nothing can hurt me. I have so much hope. I have faith in this. I know myself, so I'm not going to allow things to happen that I don't want to happen. Beautiful, isn't it? Awesome. So good. So good. Right. The last card is unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to get this relationship going. So some of you, we have a Page of Cups here and the Wheel of Fortune. I'm not worried here, Pisces. I'm not worried. This is all about your growth within yourself with regards to love. Now, that's not to say that somebody ain't coming in, because somebody is coming in. And it's that thing of where sometimes you don't like people that like you, and then you like the people that don't like you, and you're like, what's going on? Someone is going to come into you in January as a Page of Cups energy. Now, you haven't been anticipating the King. You were like, well, I kind of have a thing for the King, actually. I don't know if you know them. There they are over there. It's the King, like the thing for the King. And thing for the King. And this page comes along, slightly smaller energy, same suit, same element, understands maybe love a little bit, I want to say a little bit less, but isn't as well reversed in romantic encounters or relationships maybe as you would like. He's not, I say he, I mean they, apologies. They are not that experienced in love. However, they're doing something more than this King is, which is they're coming in, they're offering you a cup of emotion. They're saying, look, I'm not great at this stuff either. I see that you struggle with it too. But I want you to know that this is a cup and I want to give you this gift. I might not always know what to do with this cup. I sometimes might spill a lot of the contents of the cup, but I promise you it will never be empty. And I want to give this to you. I think this is more of a case for you, Pisces, that you're going, you know what? Actually, you know what it is that's attracted them to you as well? It's the fact that you're in this the Fool energy, and I see it so much more now. Look, you got the Fool here, and look at this Page of Cups. It's like, oh my God, take my cup, and you're like, no, I'm fine. I'm on the edge of the cliff. I can do what I like. It doesn't matter. And they're like, but I have a cup, and you're like, yeah, whatever. I'm just taking this in, man. But, you know, let me have my moment. And the Page of Cups is like, okay, cool. But I think that's what's attracted them to you, is that you've kind of found your spirit a little bit more in love. And they're like, that's really cool. And they admire that about you. This is a very lovely, sweet, kind of quiet energy. So whoever this is that comes in for you, all right, there may not be enough attraction or chemistry for you. But the Wheel of Fortune comes in, Major Arcana, and is saying, all right, this doesn't seem to be the next love, the next great love, all right? I don't personally feel that. If you want to take time to get to know this person, then do, because remember, like, attraction is sometimes immediate, and so the same with chemistry, but well, actually chemistry is more immediate, but attraction actually is something sometimes that takes a little bit longer, and you gradually become attracted to people. It happens all the time. So if it's the case that you want to take a chance on this Page of Cups, because you're in a really solid area of your life right now, you're at a really solid point. If you want to take this and see where it goes, absolutely. But you may feel like, do you know what, just I'm after growing into this and I'm okay with myself. So this very soon is this page coming in for you, and I don't think this is going to affect you too much, to be quite honest, because Wheel of Fortune's coming in and it's keeping things ticking over. I think the new energy that you're coming into January, this kind of learning curve that you have with yourself, you're like, this is just something that it's going to come and go, and I will go maybe through a certain amount of people over time. We might not always get along, or I might like them, they might like me, but either way, actually I'm okay. Yeah, do you know what? I'm pretty good. So even though this isn't the next big love of my life, I'm grateful that this person came in, and you know what, they're very sweet. Who's to say as well that something can't grow from it? The Wheel of Fortune is just moving you very gently along. Sometimes I don't get that with the Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes she's very slow. Other times it's very fast. We have a really beautiful steady pace of the Wheel of Fortune. So don't be too worried about maybe hurting this person's feelings or whatever. I think they're going to be cool. And more importantly, you're going to actually project yourself and who you are now, what you've learned, and bring that forward, and actually just be very you'll just conduct yourself in a really great way, maybe in a way that you hadn't, because you hadn't learned this stuff about yourself before. Now you have. You're like, no, I'm okay with this, thank you so much, you're so lovely, but I'm just not into it. And that itself as well is a massive growing point, I have to say. So singles, one person coming in, you are not really quite sure about them. They also might be a little bit younger than you. You're like, oof, don't really know about that. But you're good. Like, honestly, you're good. This is a bit of growth period for you as well. And to be honest, like, love, I don't know, it's just me, but love so soon after Christmas. It just, sometimes it happens, but often I'm like, you know, there's a lot of stuff you want to kind of take care of in January. A lot of external stuff, but for you it's really about yourself. I would love to say that this tall dark handsome person and these two here, like, this was all like, oh, this is coming, but let's keep the faith anyway, because you're starting to attract the right people now. It's just that you may not be fully attracted to them, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's do Pisces couples next. Pisces couples. Excuse me. One more. Oh, do you know what? Let's take it. All right. Clarifying cards, please. Let's give some advice and guidance, please, to Pisces couples. Sun, Moon and Rising, yeah? Whoa. All right, let's see, Pisces, what's your love life couples? Ooh, hey now. And very soon as well. Jeez, just all got a little bit sexy there, Pisces, not gonna lie. Very happy for you though, very, very happy. So your first card is romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Passion, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. And very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. That's the next phase. We're going to talk about that. Let's pull these over. Oh. Oh. This goes here. Oh, there we are. Perfect. All right. So romantic feelings. So this is a lovely card to have for couples. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So those of you that have been in, or maybe are in a new relationship and this is happening for you, this is just saying enjoy the ride. Excuse the pun. Enjoy it though. Enjoy those moments. Enjoy having romance in your life. I think because our love lives are so almost hindered by the fact that love now is so online, that the real feeling of romance and being romanced and kind of courtship is somewhat gone, and we rely so much on dating apps, I guess, to like love apps in order to kind of get us through our love lives. And it's like, There's nothing better than having those romantic feelings for someone. There's nothing better than getting butterflies just before you meet the person that, you know, you've been thinking about all week, and you get to see them. And it's great, and it's pure, and it's beautiful, and I wish more people had it. Now, to clarify what's going on for you couples, the Tower and Five of Pentacles. And I laughed there because I was like, they're two pretty not so nice cards to have, right? So for some of you that are in a romantic relationship, maybe you have been for a long time, or maybe not. Some of you may have had some real struggles in order to get to this point. The Tarot card's major arcana, it comes in and it shakes everything up, baby. It actually destroys everything. It's really destructive. It's like an earthquake. The ground shakes. The whole tower is on shoddy foundation. The structure itself can't hold on anymore. And look, the people that are within it, it just comes crumbling down. Well, things that you've built, it all just deteriorates. Now that's a really destructive way of putting it. It's also quite destructive. You can see here that the weather, there's lightning, there's rain, it's dark, look, there's fire, it's very dramatic. People are just falling out left, right and centre. And so for two of you, it could have been a case that the two of you have had real issues back in the past. Some of you have actually been together, split up, and then got back together. Some of you have actually tried to ride the wave of this turbulent energy, but with great difficulty. But however, you've come out with the romantic feelings again thing. And also, Five of Pentacles is about walking away. You see here, we have two people falling out of the Tower, and we have two people with the Five of Pentacles walking away from something that's so destructive that in many ways they couldn't, it's not really their fault. I keep hearing the words like divine timing here. For some of you, the timing was just off. For some of you, you just had a very bad start to your relationships. But look, sometimes, like, the thing that I always say about this card is that, my candle's gone, is that you want this to happen. Some of you go, no, actually, Eriu, I don't. No, you do though. And you do because anything that's built on shoddy foundation is not going to last you. You want something you know you can rely on, that is strong, that is solid, and that can carry the weight of life's crazy moments, the good and the bad. So if you guys in the past built a tower like this and it came crashing down and you guys had to walk away from each other for a while, that was a blessing in disguise to the both of you. At the time, it probably didn't feel like that. Actually, I'm very certain at the time it did not feel like that, but it had to happen for whatever reason. Some of you may have had a lot of emotional baggage, some of you may have financial issues. Whatever it was, Pisces, it had to happen. It had to cleanse the situation because it had to get rid of all the negativity. And thus, when that happened, you guys found yourselves again. Romantic feelings. And so that's why it feels like new to me. When I look at this, it feels like the butterflies and getting the text message off them and being like, oh, there's, you know, you wake up and you get that good morning message and you're like, oh, that is so sweet. You know, it's those little things, and it's getting back to romance with each other. So whatever it was, guys, this is very important. It had to happen to the two of you. And also you had to get a better perspective on what was going on. I'm sure you came out of those things and you went, you know what? Oh, at the time I didn't realise, but afterwards I could see all the problems and this is what was going on. And now we're on completely different level, like a completely different level together. And you are, because there's a progression in this as well. So your romantic feelings go on to your second card, which elevates you in the romantic relationship field, and it's passion. So you allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. And this is all passione here, guys. This is not just, you know what I'm talking about when I say passion, right? Passion. Oh yeah. And it's a new beginning in that as well. I think you guys are just a lot more verbal in your relationships now, because you know that from what happened here, you have to be open and honest and just say how you feel about things. Maybe that wasn't happening in the past, maybe you kept it in, and it was like, no, like we can't do that this time. And you both realize it with really mature eyes. You're like, we can't do that. That'll be to the detriment of us. It'll be to the detriment of the like our relationship that we're starting in again, or that we're still in. Let's clean slate, let's go. You've been given that, and that's what you've done. So you've also got King of Wands here and Ace of Swords. So you have this beautiful new beginning in communication. The sword comes in, cuts away at everything you don't need anymore. It clears the path. What I want you to imagine is this beautiful pathway, and all this foliage and trees coming in, and it crowds your ability to walk through effectively. This sword comes in, cuts it all out. See, gone. And you can see then where you're going. You're like, this is the path. This is the place I need to be. And you can float on with grace and dignity and just know that you're okay. The King of Wands here as well. Now, it doesn't have to be king. You have two kings actually, which is interesting. But it could also be queen energy as well. Like, it fluctuates. So I keep saying, it fluctuates. But the fact that the king is here and he's holding his wand and he's dead set on letting you know physically how he feels. I'm not really good about kind of being subtle about some things, so what I'm going to say to you is the sexy time between you and your partner is good, and if you don't feel like it's going that good, it will get good, because both of you are on the same page now, and I can see that here. I can see it kind of here, but here I really see it. I see it now. I think you both get it as well now. You're like, I was looking at you with different eyes, you were looking at me with different eyes, and now we see it, now we get it, and you see them for who they are now in this moment. I think there's a lot of forgiveness that comes with this as well. But with that forgiveness is the expression of love through physical intimacy. There's a lot of passion, there's a lot of sex, and you know, it doesn't also just have to be sex, it can be sensuality as well. Just being with your partner in that sort of intimacy, at that level, at that kind of physical exposure and emotional exposure is actually so productive for you guys for this January. Absolutely. But the King of Wands is coming in. He's like, he means business. So you just, if you don't, you know, I have to say, like, if you aren't thinking about having kids, like, you better be very careful in January. Be real careful. Okay, and then your last card is very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Right, this is kind of pushing me a little bit here, and I'm rejecting it slightly, and I'll tell you why. You're doing good, couples. Pisces couples for January 2018. You're doing really good. And I think the next phase for you is coming in quite soon. You might feel like this is going a bit fast. For some of you, if you've already been in this relationship before, broken up and got back together, because you're so much clearer now, it feels like it's just going to go real fast. All of a sudden, it's like you're seeing each other, you're dating, you're seeing each other, you're a couple, and then you're living with each other, and then all of a sudden it's like engaged. It just feels like there's one thing after the other. For some of you, that sequence is there because that's how it's meant to be. that's what it is. For others of you that kind of want to take your time, you want to go a little bit slower, what I'll say to you is that the kind of next phase of the relationship is coming up. Just think about where you want to go with this. And I say that as well because you have the Two of Wands energy here. This is about fire energy again, but it's looking at the world in which you want to create your destiny and how you want to mold that and construct that for you. It's also about your love life. It's finally starting to balance out now, Pisces couples. It really is. You've got such a good head on your shoulders this time round. I'm so delighted for you. But as I said, this is sometimes can be like a crystal ball and looking into the future. So that's what you need to do. I would suggest thinking about it, looking about it, and seeing what you want to do. Come towards it like the King of Pentacles with a very practical, methodical mind and a very systematic approach to things. Have your strategies. Like, some of you may be like, do you know what? Love you. Think you're great. Don't want to move in with you just yet. Give it another 6 months. Fine, roll with it. Some of you will go, right, okay, let's move in. But don't you dare propose to me, or I won't propose to you for at least a year. You know, it's very, very adult about your decisions in love. And because you know how fragile it is at times and how it can be, it needs to be handled with care. And so that's what you're coming around here with, just a great attitude, Pisces. So if you feel like this is saying, like, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now, I'm actually going to slightly disagree with that card and just push it back slightly and go, give Pisces a little bit more time. Let them think about it. They'll have their answers ready for when it comes, yeah? So just have your answers ready. It doesn't mean that you even have to do anything just yet. But the next phase is coming for you, and it's asking you, are you ready? And you gotta say, give me a bit of time, or you know what, smack bang, I'm totally ready, give it to me. Pisces couples. Pisces. Hey Pisces couples. I'm delighted for this. I hope you're delighted with this end of the reading as well. This is spot on for me. This is beautiful. Pisces, thank you so much for being here with me for your January 2018 reading. We covered career, finances, family and friends, and then singles love and couples love. If you'd like any more guidance or would like to see the sort of services I provide, or just even get a reading from me, say hello. You can email me. My email address is below and it's at the end of this video as well. Remember, if it doesn't fully resonate, check out your moon, your rising sign as well. Is there anything else you need to know? Nope, other than I hope you're great. I hope you have a fantastic January. I'll see you beautiful little fishies in February, and I can't wait to see you. You have a beautiful month. Take care. Bye bye.